How you doing, sir?
Just fine, and how are you?
I'm doing outstanding.
And,
good talking to you again today. How's your weather out there?
Actually, it's pretty warm. It's going to be warm again today. It was about 100 yesterday. Otherwise, it's a beautiful day. How's it there?
Overcast, but it feels good. It's probably about 65 degrees here, and so last couple of days we've been getting up into like 80, 85, so it's been warmer in the home. Today it's actually cooler, so I'm actually kind of enjoying it being cooled down a little bit, but otherwise it's great, yeah.
Well, and what's your first question?
Well, listen, we've been talking for some time, and one of our conversations, somebody had brought something up, and I thought it was a valid point. He and I had a discussion, but wanted to bring it back up. We were talking about people hearing the message that may not be aware, because you and I haven't always been aware, and many of the listeners likewise. And we said in our conversation that sometimes people are going to think we're crazy when we tell them, change your mind, change your world, because, of course, people don't believe that. And he says, well, no, I don't think that's the right response. I don't think that people will think us crazy. He says, that seems to me that that's an assumption on your part. When we talk about choose you this day, some people don't believe that they have a choice, and they think that this sounds crazy. So, with all that being said, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, the thing of it is that they just think you're deluded, that's all. But the point is that is a stretch for them. You see, they're conditioned to the world ongoing drama. So this is something that's so far outside of that it doesn't seem real. And so that's what they feel. They feel it can't be real because it's too far out from the norm. But then, what is the norm? The norm is happiness, and we don't see that in the world too much. I mean, wars and rumors of wars since how long? Forever, it seems like, and probably was. It's all about our own individual attitude. Attitude awareness and imaginational control. With these two, you can avoid all the nonsense. Because, look, you're told to make heaven on earth. Well, you get in by strolling in. You don't fight your way in. This is not a fight. And it's not your battle, as a matter of fact, you're told. It's not your battle, but you can go out and fight it if you want to. But it's not necessary. And why put yourself through that? Because that's what we do. We put ourselves through things, and then we sit around and worry about it. And, of course, subconscious makes your everydayness from your feeling nature. What are you feeling? What are you thinking as you think you are? If that isn't enough for you to change your mind and change your world, at least consider it for yourself, first person, that you do have a valid say, and that you are about saying your valid say. And your world is the experiencing of what you're saying with your valid say. So make it lovely and of good report. Wouldn't you think that's a good idea?
I think so. So now my question then is, with that being said, how much of other people's world do we have control over?
Well, actually, you don't. It just coincides with it. You don't. Look, we're told they themselves are makers of themselves. So you don't have to go any further from where you are right at the moment, because everything you need is nearer than hands and feet. So where would you need to go? Why would you need to be concerned about anything else other than as you think you are, because that's your world of experiencing. And if you want it different, think different. It's as simple as that. You choose this day. And actually you are doing so, whether you're aware you're doing so or not. You are choosing this day because that's what you were given. Choose this day. And you're doing so. It's not a request. You are choosing your day. They themselves are makers of themselves. So you got nobody to blame but yourself. And then you're told, don't let the man actually condemn himself for what he has allowed. See, you're blessed if you don't condemn yourself, because that's the only thing and the only person and the only thing is you. Think about it. Think from it, and you'll get it.
A lot of people are under the impression, once they begin practicing this law, these principles, and they believe that they can control everyone outside of themselves. It's true. We can see a loved one in a better light. We can see someone being healed and see the manifestations of that healing. You stated we all are given to choose this day. And I think that a lot of times people begin to practice this law, these principles, and they believe that they can control everyone outside of themselves. So let's say that something goes wrong. A loved one is injured in a car accident. They say, well, why couldn't I stop that? Why couldn't I change that? What do you say to that person?
Did you know it was going to happen before it happened? That's it. Did you know that that was going to happen before it happened?
It's a very powerful question.
That's it.
Most people say, I had no idea that that was going to happen.
Well, but you see, then you couldn't have done anything about it, could you? See, if you didn't know it was going to happen, you couldn't do anything about it. In that sense, you're off the hook, so to speak. Because, you see, you didn't cause anything to happen to that person. You couldn't. The one that had the accident had to have that accident because of what they thought or what they feared. You see, the thing of it is it isn't like you had a bad thought today and then tomorrow it happens. It's not like that. Every vision has its appointed hour. So what you're thinking today may be some 9, 10 months, 10 years down the line. But consciousness never forgets. And it tells you that as you think, you are. See, if you thought about something and then you forgot it, you're still stuck with it until you change it. See, nothing happens until you change it. You change your mind, you change your world. It's as simple as that. But because it is that simple, it slides by so easy. I know, I just slid right over it. I don't know how many times. It's there. It says so. It's a message for you. If it's a message for you, what are you going to do about it? See, it's always up to you. You should follow through on what you find agreement with in your own heart. That's the statement. You're in charge. You have a say. And if you're beating yourself up, well, that's you saying so. No, nobody else is doing it. Heaven is a place where you stroll in or you don't get in. So right there, there's a change of mind. So you got to change your mind to stroll in. And you do that by worshiping God. And worshiping God is using His gifts. Worshiping God is using His gifts, and you must already have them. You have to recognize them. That's what imagination is for. Recognizing the gifts. Feel after Him, and you'll find Him. That's you doing, being, having what? Because you are doing, being, and having something. Change your mind, change your world. Simple enough.
So now my question is then, with that being said, if I think about it long enough, then can I make everybody in the world believe these principles that I know about?
No. You see, say what you said again.
If I think about it long enough, can I?
It's not going to be, it is. You see, that's the point. You're told, do a thing. What is it you want to do? Do that. Don't do all the other things. Do that. And do just that. Look, you have to be in love with what you want to do. It's that simple. If you love it, you'll jump right at it. If you only kind of warm a little bit, you'll probably just forget it. But it has been, since the day you were born, you're making your world what it is by as you think you are. So just watch your own inner conversations for a time, and you'll catch yourself setting yourself up, but you're always dreaming up monsters that you don't need, that you don't want. And you're doing it in your own self-talk. You're suggesting to yourself in the little sentences that suggest that you do this or do that. But you have to discern for yourself, is this the right way to go? Is this taking me where I want to go? And if it's not, why am I sitting here thinking about it? If it's not solving my problem, what do I need it for?
So what you're saying, in essence, is that we individually are responsible for our world of experiencing, not Joe's world of experience or Mary's world of experience or Martha's world of experience.
Unless it's acceptable to them. See, the thing of it is, there's no force involved, or shouldn't be, because it's not necessary. If they understand what you're saying, that is the answer to all their questions. Because that's what happened. I was told that if I would actually contemplate and meditate on what I hear and see the essence of what was being said, you did it. You got it. If you wanted to do something, you have to see yourself already doing it and being it and thinking from it, and then it's yours. Everybody does it right up to a point, but then they don't stand and see the victory. They're always falling away beforehand and then wondering, thinking it doesn't work. But it works. You have to work it. You do have to show up. You do have to pay attention. But if you will, you'll have it, whatever it is you want. Just think from it. That's the idea. Thinking from what you want, not of it. Thinking of it is saying, I don't have it. And then subconscious mind says, okay, you don't have it.
The truth of the matter is, and we've talked about this before, we do this all the time. We do it unconsciously. We're creating our world of experience. And, of course, now at this point when we're new to it or when we're unaware about it, we blame the world outside. But as we begin to understand what it is that we're talking about, then we become more conscious in our creation. And, we've had some wonderful testimonies on the Facebook group of people that are using these laws practically, and I gave an example recently of a woodpecker. I had a woodpecker that was kind of destroying my house. It was kind of tearing it down. I tried throwing rocks at it. I tried making noise. I tried some other methods, and I couldn't get rid of that woodpecker. But finally, I got silent. And what I ended up doing was not hearing the woodpecker when I woke up in the morning. I heard it being silent. I heard the birds. I heard the other natural sounds, but I did not hear the pecking since that time that I went into the silence. That woodpecker hasn't been back. Have you had an experience like that?
Well, actually, yeah, everybody has those experiences. They just don't recognize it. They're doing all they want to do according to how they feel at the moment. They're doing already, but is it what you want to be doing? You're told do a thing. Well, you're told the thing then would be what you're choosing. And hopefully you understand what you're choosing because you're doing so. Thinking makes it so. And you're thinking all the time. What are you making so with all your thinking? That's the question everybody has to ask themselves. Is what I'm thinking about, is that leading me where I want to go? If it isn't, drop it. Stop thinking about it. It'll pop up here and there. That's 70 times 7 that you forgive yourself because you do stupid things all the time. We all do.